standing in front of Addison Blockhouse. I'm at the Addison Blockhouse State Historic Site. Before we go into the history and everything about this place, I've been wanting to come out here for over a year now since I first found out about it. It was initially inaccessible, legally, I should say. It's the road that comes into it is owned by a homeowners association. You can't trespass on that, and normally that wouldn't be a problem for me, but it seems like it's that entrance is a little bit difficult to access without anyone seeing you. So I did it the legal way. Came in through the river. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to Philip Rand, the park manager of Tomoka State Park, which is right around the corner here. He not only showed me how to get here, but I had a very nice conversation with him Wednesday for about 40 minutes, and gave me all sorts of tips on how to get out here, but also went out of his way later on that day, actually did a wiki map for me, printed it out, emailed it to me, and I did the GPS on it from there. But without him, I would not have found this. This was for me, this was very difficult to find. I came up through the river, came up down the path, which is basically a forest road, but not really. You can take a Jeep or a four-wheel drive or something like that down there, ATV. It's very narrow, it's very muddy, and it's very overgrown, so it takes a real discerning eye to be able to tell that it's even a road. So huge shout out to him for hooking me up. I would have never found this place. This where we're standing right now is way off the road, and down a path that is barely visible as being a path. And this is hidden. I mean, this is all I had. Stuck my head around a tree, and all of a sudden, boom, there it was. So without him, without that GPS, without all that stuff, I would have never found this place. At least not this time. I'd had to go back and do more research. And this is Volusia County. I live about 250 miles the other way, so I don't get up here all that often. But this was a big, huge coup for me. This is an excellent one. I'm going to go and try to find the McCrae ruins after this, which are in the same basic ground. But this is just a phenomenal site. This was built in almost 200 years ago, 1816 it was built. The person that initially got the land grant in 1766, Ormond, and Addison built this, and then other people bought it over the years, rebought it and built it up. It was destroyed, as were all the other plantations up and down the coast, in 1835, 1836, during the first months of the Second Seminole War. The Seminoles rampaged up and down and just burnt everything. This is the kitchen. This is another thing that for me makes this an incredible find. This is the kitchen. It's called the Blockhouse now because it was garrisoned during the Second Seminole War by soldiers, militia, North Carolina and Georgia militia. And there were actual battles fought on this ground. There was a cannon placed on top of this. This was essentially a fort. They used this as a fort to protect themselves against the Seminoles. So I just ran into some guys. It's the weirdest thing. I never thought in a million years I'd ever run into anybody. I ran into a bunch of kids who told me that there is a well over here not too far. So I'm going to venture over there after I film this real well. But again, this is just a phenomenal, very, very secluded, very old, historic piece of Florida, and it's just incredible. So we're gonna start going and showing around the structure itself. They've the park people the rangers have placed this canopy over it to protect it from the elements. But you can see here, there's all sorts of coquina blocks strewn about the place. And this is just what's left of it. But this was at one time a kitchen. And all the stucco and everything that goes into making this a single sheen has all been worn off over the years. It's basically just worn away, deteriorated. They buttressed this wall here with this, it's like 6x6s. And there's our sign. It's a very strange park and a very strange site. It's a public facility, but it's not. You just can't walk up on it. Which I find to be very amusing that they can't just work out some sort of deal with this homeowners association for allowing people to come in and view this. But, you know, having said that, people being people, there'd be likely, this is a very, very, very remote place. And there's no one out here, there's no one patrolling it. If you wanted to do damage to it, you could very easily do damage to it. Obviously, this is the fireplace. These blocks would have extended over in the arch here. And then whatever is left of that is fallen down here. This area was not, after the war, it was not re-inhabited, if you will. It's exciting for me to stand inside an area where men would have stood 200 years ago almost and defended themselves against these attacks. They would have sent men out for provisions and things of that nature, and oftentimes those men were attacked, some were killed. A lot of people don't know that the Seminole Wars, the 3 wars fought against the Seminoles, were the costliest in terms of lives and money of all the other Indian wars combined, which that's quite a statement. That is quite a statement. So that must have been something of a lookout tower there. You can see it's crumbling, it's cracking in areas. It's almost big crack here. Almost ready to fall over. And here we see where a lot of the stucco has remained intact. Interesting enough. Amazing find. I just stumbled on this researching about a year ago. Happened to find out about it. Had to see it. Had to have it, as it were. It's like almost like a moat running around here. I don't know if that is from 200 years ago or just now, but this all this ground right here is all raised. It's all raised up, and there's right in there's a little moat that runs completely around. I had to walk under through it, down into it to get here, and it's not wet. So phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Gonna run over, see if I can find this well these guys were talking about.